Assalamu alaikum, namaste, good morning, bonjour, ciao, konnichiwa, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Ken at 10. How are you today? I hope you're well. It's bright and sunny here in Southwest 16. If you haven't been here before, then welcome. We're James Alexander Estate Agents. We broadcast daily at 10 a.m. live for you, talking about all things property, whatever else is going on in the local and national press, really. Today we have a few things to cover. By the way, for those of you that asked about the podcast, still waiting for approval from the company, Fairstone Financial. Once we've got it, we will be publishing that and putting the links out. And I think you'll enjoy it. It's a good one. It's a real breakdown of mortgage terms, and hopefully will help property buyers and sellers understand the whole mortgage thing a little bit more readily. Few things in the news today. One in the Telegraph and City AM. Figures from the NAEA, that's the National Association that estate agents largely belong to, property markets also known as, show 1 in 6 homes sold in March went for higher than the asking price. That's a 7-year high, with just a third selling for below the original price. Mark Hayward said the imbalance of supply and demand means an extremely strong seller's market. Properties are selling quickly and for over the asking price. This is something we expect to continue into the coming months. Homeowners reconsidering their lifestyle and stamp duty holidays seen as the main drivers of increased demand. Well, they certainly are. Article from the Daily Mail saying landlords are interested in green mortgages. Yes and no. Well, they are. The reason they are is that by 2025, as it stands at the moment, landlords' properties need to achieve an energy performance rating of C. That's right, landlords. You need to achieve a better energy rating than you probably got. There is some complaint and some pushback against the government with this, as you can imagine, via the various professional bodies. But as it stands at the moment, by 2025, it will be illegal to rent a property out with an EPC below the rating of C. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops. Now, a lot of talk about the cladding as well with the media today, both on the BBC and in the press. And this is more to do with the frustration. And as you know, we've spoken about the cladding scandal many, many times. And it's always seemed unfair to me that the people that are caught in the middle of this are the very people that had nothing to do with the build. They just innocently bought a property, expecting that the standards in the UK would allow them to buy something which was reasonable and safe, and that wasn't found to be the case. That's a failing of the building regulations. It's not a failing of the buyer, and those buyers now, many of them trapped, can't sell. And the reason why many of them can't sell, by the way, a lot of people say, well, why can't they just auction them off? Number of reasons. Number one, if you're trying to sell a property for less than you bought for it, how do you cover the mortgage difference? That's number one. Number two, if you're a housing association buyer, you've bought in conjunction with a housing association, which many have on shared ownership, then you're not allowed to sell below market value. So even if you wanted to put your property in the auction, it's not an option for you. And you have to sell to somebody in a similar situation. So really, really tough, unless you can find a buyer that's going to pay full price. And of course, that's not going to happen while you've got the cladding looming. So many people's lives being destroyed by this. The government should step in and do more. I know they're trying to help, but they're doing too little too late, frankly. Big frustration, rant over. But if you're in that situation, my heart goes out to you. Very, very frustrating. The FCA need to make mortgages faster. This is the Financial Conduct Authority. Anthony Brown MP, a member of the Treasury Select Committee and former Chief Exec of the British Bankers Association, writes in the Times on the state of the mortgage market, arguing the FCA has misunderstood the problem of the loyalty penalty. He says that the FCA is mistaken to think that all this mortgage switching is a sign of competition working well. It is not. It's a sign of customers being forced to do it. Otherwise, they face huge increases in costs. Well, that's true. Quite often, people are finding that they've got massive looming costs if they stay with their existing lender. And it doesn't seem fair, does it, that all of a sudden the lender's going to lump a big charge on them just for staying where they are. But that's where fixed rates come in. Hopefully, you can fix your rate now and know where you are, especially while rates are so low. This is not financial advice, by the way, of course. It's just educational, but in my view right now with interest rates so low, it could be a smart move to really pin down that rate, lock it down. Prime rentals are facing a shortage. This is interesting. Business leaders, this is in the Daily Telegraph, by the way, relocating to the UK, business leaders could struggle to find a home amid an impending rental shortage this summer. And this is because many people have taken advantage of the stamp duty holiday, seen rising prices, decided to sell. And it means there's a scarcity value around these properties, and it could impact on the chief execs looking to come to the UK, looking for a place to rent while they work, which is interesting. Oh, by the way, those of you wondering why I've got 65 days behind us, that's the number of days left before the stamp duty deadline. That's when the saving of up to £15,000 is taken away, and it's replaced with a doubling of relief from 125 to 250,000. Just to put that into perspective, it's the difference between if you buy before June 30th, then you'll be saving 15,000. If you buy before September, then you'll be saving 2,500. Now in London, obviously, this is a massive problem. And many people are worried about it. Many people in the middle of chains. We're really, really pushing for all of our clients to make sure that they're not trapped in the in-between bit and hope that they can make it before that deadline. But if you're just starting, I've said it many times, it's not a given that you're going to get there. It's not a long time, 65 days, just over 2 months. The average transaction is taking longer. So you really, really need to make sure, I've said it time and time again, but I'll say it again. You need to get your ducks in a row. You need to get a buyer right now. You need to get an agent that's on it. You need to get a solicitor that's on it and has capacity to cope. You need a lender that's going to lend you the money and has capacity to lend that money quickly. If those things aren't in a row, you're not going to make that deadline. If you're a leasehold property and you haven't got a management pack, chances are you're not going to make it in time. So I would say, it's getting really tight now. We're having discussions every day with people that are making offers saying, is your offer conditional on meeting the stamp duty deadline? And we're actually keeping away from those that are conditional on that where we can, where there's a couple of offers and people are saying, look, we'd like to save the money, but it's not, the end of the world. If we don't make it, we don't make it. Whereas others are saying, no, if we don't make the deadline, we're out. So, we really need to understand that. And I think it's an agent's job to understand where buyers are at on this. And certainly, we're trying our best to advise our clients of exactly where the buyers stand. Britside staycations in beach huts. There's an interesting one. It's in the Times and the Telegraph and the Independent. Always fascinates me this because I always think, really? You pay that for a beach hut? It's a hut. It's not even a shed. Beach hut prices are soaring as the UK prepares for a summer of domestic holidays. Huts are costing 40% more than in 2020, according to hotel booking site Who, with the average price now reaching £36,000. £36,000 one of those little huts. No running water, nothing really. The most sought after huts in the most popular slots are fetching 10 times that much. The most expensive ones are in Dorset, Mudford, with some selling for £325,000. Really? For a beach hut? It's just another world, isn't it? According to Rightmove, asking prices have risen more than 50%, and beach huts are on sale for $39,000 on average, up from $25,999. It says 90% of huts on its site are already under offer or sold. Wow. Some people have money to burn, in my view, but there we are. So apart from that, we have lots going on today in terms of sales progression, as you can imagine. Few valuations coming up and lots of offers to qualify and try and process and get through and make sure, having those hard discussions, is this offer conditional on that June deadline? What will happen after that deadline? I hear you say everybody's wondering what will happen there. Well, the good news is we now have the first-time buyer mortgages coming on strong. They're coming on strong. We're starting to see first-time buyers enter the market. We're getting viewings on flats that have been quiet for a long time now. And this is a good sign. Hopefully, the first indicator of an uplift in the market, because as I've said many times, most people that are currently in flats that would like to move have not been able to do so because of lack of buyers in the flat market. Now this is turning around. This will allow those flat buyers to buy houses, which will hopefully replace the buyers that are there because of the stamp duty deadline. And hopefully this will make for a softer landing post-June. And certainly as we come out of lockdown, it seems there's more optimism. It certainly feels better, doesn't it? Everything feels better in the sunshine, though, doesn't it? We always love showing houses in the sunshine because they look so good. But what you do when it's raining? You tell them if you love it when it's raining, it's going to look even better in the sunshine. That's it from Ken at 10 today. We'll be back same time tomorrow with another edition. Until then, stay safe, look after your families, have a fantastic day. Ciao.